What are you doing down there? Thought you'd just sneak up on me, did ya? You want to learn how to grow sunflowers? Now sunflowers are a really attractive novelty plant for the garden. What I really like about them is in a space of a few months you can go from an area that's got not much to quite a vertical foliage, and it's just the expectation of seeing that flower come into bloom, and you actually get a little bit of an edible crop at the end as well. Or you can just leave the seeds for the birds, but if you want to eat them you can just roast them in the oven for a little while and just eat them straight out the shells. Now fundamentally sunflowers are a very easy plant to grow. I like to put them in pots and grow them on as big as I can, as early as I can, as to try and get the height out of them in the garden. And I like to sort of do mass plantings. You can use them as a sort of physical barrier in summer. Just grow them in a sort of block and they sort of support themselves to an extent really. So you know, when you pick a site to grow your sunflowers, try and make sure it's not too exposed, because they can just get blown down. But actually what I'm finding is the best option with sunflowers is just sow them direct. Sow them direct. If you want to get them going a bit earlier, get one of them little see-through clutch things and that will see you through. And what I've done, and I've done for many years, is I plant them in pots, mass plant them in the polytunnel, get them going early. The only issue with that is every time I try and plant them on, they go a bit wonky, or they sort of get planted outside and they freeze for a little bit. They just look a little bit shocked. But what I have found is if they do get decapitated, not to worry too much because they will shoot up from the base. But they're a really good thing to have in the garden. You get some really tall varieties now, Russian Giant and Titan. So they're a little bit of fun in the garden, I think, as well. And you know, you can grow beans up them as well if you want. Great for kids, great for the birds. I usually plant them out in May in the forest garden, because what I'm trying to do in the forest garden is I've still got blank space, so I'm using sort of annual crops to try and fill up that area. So sunflowers are a good filler really. If you left it late in the season, you want a little bit of fun in the garden, just stick the seeds in the ground. You shouldn't have too much of a problem. So all you've got to remember is they like full sun, sheltered sort of site, rich soil, don't like to dry out too much, and you shouldn't go far wrong with sunflowers. I would say get out there and grow some.